the solubility of drug. In this solubility of drug, in earlier lecture we have discussed what you mean solubility. What are the components of solution which are present after mixing the two components? That is, out of these two components, one is solute and another component in which solute is dissolved, that is nothing but solvent. So if you have mixed, if you have prepared the solution, and you can say that the solute and the component which is soluble into the solvent. So how you can determine the solubility of that specific drug, the solubility of that specific moiety? In definition of solubility, what you are defined? Solubility, it is an maximum amount of the solute which is expressed in the gram, which will be soluble into the specific quantity of solvent at a specific temperature and pressure. So as you have defined the solubility, it is a maximum amount of solute which is dissolved into the solvent. So if you find out, so if you able to determine the amount of solute which is dissolved into the solvent, definitely we will get the solubility of that specific solute. In short, सोल्युबिलिटीच्या डेफिनेशन मध्ये तुम्ही काय सांगितलं की सोल्युबिलिटी म्हणजे काय, तर एका सॉल्व्हंट मध्ये सोल्यूटचं मॅक्झिमम किती क्वांटिटी, किती अमाऊंट सोल्युबलाइज होऊ शकते, डिझॉल्व्ह होऊ शकते, त्याला तुम्ही सोल्युबिलिटी म्हणला. अँड नाव मग आता जर तुम्हाला त्या कंपाऊंडची सोल्युबिलिटी डिटरमाइन करायची असेल तर व्हेरी सिंपल, की त्या सॉल्व्हंट मध्ये किती सोल्यूट प्रेझेंट आहे हे जर तुम्ही डिटरमाइन केलं, डेफिनेटली विल गेट द सोल्युबिलिटी ऑफ दॅट स्पेसिफिक सोल्यूट. म्हणजे इन शॉर्ट, सपोज तुम्ही 1 लिटर वॉटर घेतले, त्या 1 लिटर वॉटर मध्ये तुम्ही काय केलं तर सोल्यूटची एक स्पेसिफिक क्वांटिटी ऍड केली आणि त्याच्यामुळे काय झालं, ते सोल्युबल झालं. पण in the definition of saturated and supersaturated solution, तुम्ही असंही ऑब्झर्व केलंय, if the quantity of solute, if it is exceed, that solution becomes supersaturated solution. म्हणजे काय होईल, एका ठराविक सोल्यूटची जी एक ठराविक क्वांटिटी आहे ती काय होईल तर त्याच्यामध्ये इनसोल्युबल फॉर्म मध्ये राहील. And such a insoluble quantity of solute, if you determine, and moreover to this, ती जर तुम्ही इनसोल्युबल क्वांटिटी जर फिल्ट्रेशन न तुम्ही सेपरेट केली, नंतर ते भेटणार आहे तुम्हाला, काय भेटणार आहे, फिल्ट्रेट. फिल्ट्रेट मध्ये काय असणार आहे, क्लिअर सोल्युशन, की ज्याच्यामध्ये सोल्यूट हे कम्प्लिटली डिझॉल्व्ह झालेलं असेल, सोल्यूट हे कम्प्लिटली सोल्युबल झालेलं असेल. नाव यू गॉट द सोल्युबिलिटी ऑफ दॅट स्पेसिफिक कंपोनंट. म्हणजे तुम्हाला आता काय भेटलं तर त्या सोल्युशन मध्ये कम्प्लिटली डिझॉल्व्ह झालेलं सोल्यूट, त्यावेळेस तुम्ही त्याला काय म्हणणार तर इट इज अन सॅच्युरेटेड सोल्युशन. वाय इट इज सॅच्युरेटेड सोल्युशन, कारण जी एक्सेस क्वांटिटी तुम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये ऍड केली होती ती एक्सेस क्वांटिटी काय झाली तर इनसोल्युबल फॉर्म मध्ये राहिली. म्हणजे त्या सोल्वंटची जी कॅपॅसिटी आहे सोल्युबलाइज करण्याची ती काय झाली, सॅच्युरेटेड झाली, आणि ते जे सोल्युशन तुम्हाला भेटलेला असेल, that solution it will become the saturated solution. मग तुम्हाला हे माहिती आहे इन फिजिक्स evaporation, the one concept, if you evaporate that vehicle, if you evaporate that water or solvent which is used in the preparation of that solution, ते सोल्युशन जर तुम्ही ऑब्झर्व केलं आणि त्या ऑब्झर्व केलेल्या सोल्युशन मध्ये इफ यू ऑब्झर्व त्या व्हेकलचं त्या सॉल्व्हंटचं जर इव्हॅपोरेशन केलं तर खाली काय राहते, विल गेट द ओनली रेसिड्यू. मग त्याच्यामधलं जर सॉल्व्हंट इव्हॅपोरेट झालं, त्याच्यामधलं जर व्हेकल इव्हॅपोरेट झालं, खाली जो रेसिड्यू राहणार आहे तो रेसिड्यू कसा असणार आहे, सॉलिड फॉर्म मध्ये असणार आहे. सो इफ यू गेट the quantity or weight of that solute, what you will get, the amount of substance, amount of solute which is dissolved into the solution. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही 100 ग्रॅम वॉटर मध्ये किंवा 1 ग्रॅम सोल्यूट, लेट अस टेक द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ द शुगर, तुम्ही जर 1 ग्रॅम शुगर जर 1 लिटर वॉटर मध्ये किंवा 100 ml वॉटर मध्ये डिझॉल्व्ह केली असेल आणि ते कम्प्लिटली सोल्युबलाइज झाल्यानंतर ते सॅच्युरेशन लेवलला गेल्यानंतर जर तुम्ही त्या वॉटरचं इव्हॅपोरेशन केलं, once the water will get evaporated, at the end we are getting the residue in that vessel. मग त्या रेसिड्यूचं, त्या शुगरच्या रेसिड्यूचं जर तुम्ही वेट केलं, we'll get the amount of sugar, that is amount of solute which was dissolved, which was present into the solution. So by this way we can determine the solubility of the specific component, solubility of the specific drug. Okay. So as earlier lecture we have discussed, solubility, it is an temperature depends. Solubility, it is depends on the temperature. If the temperature increase, solubility increase. If the temperature decrease, solubility it will get decrease. So let us observe this curve. In this curve, on x-axis temperature is mentioned, on y-axis the solute which is dissolved into the solvent, that is solubility is expressed. So this plot, what it indicate, as the temperature is increased, just observe this curve, the solubility it is increased, means at low temperature we are getting the supersaturated. Temperature increase, we got the saturated solution, that is completely soluble. As further increase in temperature, again you are getting the unsaturated solutions. This is the solubility curve. So along with temperature, let us see, if the amount of solute, if it is more, again it is supersaturated. If the amount of solute which is less than supersaturated amount, then it is saturated. The amount of solute which is present, which is the less than the quantity which is required to make that solution saturated, then it is unsaturated solution. So this solubility curve, what it indicates? The temperature, if it is raised, definitely solubility, it will get raised. Temperature decrease, solubility of the component, solubility of the drug in any solvent, it may get decreased, and also it depends upon the amount of solute which is present into the solution. So this solubility curve, it is totally depends upon the temperature. Next is thermodynamic solubility of drug. In earlier lecture, we have discussed a drug in a solvent is the maximum amount of most stable crystalline form that remain in solution in a given volume at a given temperature and pressure under equilibrium condition. So this definition we have explained as per the thermodynamics. So when that system, it will becomes the thermodynamically equilibrium. When it is possible to make that system thermodynamically equilibrium. So to make this system thermodynamically equilibrium, we have to balance the whatever the interactions which are present between the solute and solvent. We have to balance the energy which is involved into these three interaction. And we know that the interaction which is present in solution in between the solvent and solute, it may be the interaction between the solvent and solvent. The interaction may be between solute and solute. The interaction may be between solvent and solute. So these three types of the interactions which are generally present into the solution when it is get saturated. So when any solution, it will form the mechanism or the steps, the process which is involved in the solubilization. It is very first we have to add the solute into the solvent molecules. So when you are adding the solute into the solvent molecules, after addition of solute molecules, what will happen? The holes into the solvents may form. Let us consider in this beaker, we have taken the solvent. And if you add in this beaker these solute molecules by this way, when these come in contact with the surface of the solvent, they are trying to enter, they are trying to dip inside the solute. So when it is possible to dip these solute molecules into the solvent, these solvent molecules which is present in this vessel or which is present in this system, firstly these solvents molecules, it will form the cavities. These solvents molecules, it will form the holes. then only it is possible to enter the solute molecules inside the solvent. Until and unless the solvent's molecules will not accommodate the solute molecules, the solute can't enter into the solvent. So this is the first step, that is the hole opens in the solvents, that is cavity formation into the solvent. So next step is when you are adding the solute molecules into the solvent, these molecules may be in aggregated form. These molecules may be in the crystalline form. So these larger crystals, the aggregates of the molecules of the solute need to be break. So when these molecules get break, when these molecules get separate, the individual molecules will be available. And you know that earlierly we have discussed, when these molecules get separate, molecules, when it is present individually, that is the after size reduction, the surface area of the solute molecule, it is increased. So what will happen? Let us consider. This is the one molecule, and in this one molecules, when you are adding this one molecules into the solute, so what happen here? Only this surface it will get exposed to the solvent. If you break these molecules, if you break this substance, crystalline form substance, into two parts, so now this surface area, let us see, this surface area and this surface area, it is extra available to get exposed with solvent. So as we are going to reduce its size, as the particle size decreased, as the size reduction is going on, along with decreasing particle size, the surface area, it will be more surface area, it will be available to get exposed to the solvent. Definitely solubility of the solute, solubility of the drug molecules and crystalline form substance or the solid form substance into the solvent, it will be increased. So molecules of the solid breaks away from the bulk. Third is, through these cavities, when the solids particles enter into the solvent, they will try to accommodate in between the, let us see, try to accommodate in between the solvent molecules. This is the process. These are the steps which are involved into the, when the solid it will get dissolved or when it is entered into the solution. Here the mechanism which is mentioned, perspective of solubilization process for organic solute in water, it involves the following step. First step is breakup of solute-solute intermolecular bonds. So what happened? The solute, it is in solid form. maybe. And as the solute is present in the bulk, or the solute molecules are present in the solid substance, these are bound, these are bring together due to their intermolecular force of attractions. And this intermolecular force of attraction, which is present in between the number of molecules which are involved into the substance. These are maybe ionic bonds. These are maybe van der Waals force of attractions. These are maybe bound together by the covalent bonds, hydrogen bonds. So by these different forces of attractions, these molecules are together. And in the one substance, in the one solute, what are the molecules which are involved through these intermolecular bonds, through this intermolecular force of attractions, these forces of attractions which are strong. That means when you are adding this solute into the solvent, that means when you are trying to make solubilize these solvents, we have to overcome, we have to break, we have to nullify whatever the forces of attractions which are involved, or whatever the intermolecular bonds which are involved into that substance, into that more specific to the solute. So then only that substance, it will becomes solubilized. Let us see, this is solute and we are going to add into the solvent. After addition of this solute into the solvent, if this solute is not going to allow to penetrate the solvent molecules into this substance, or what are the intermolecular force of attractions which are present into this solute, which are not going to allow to penetrate the solvent molecules, it will not become solubilized. Why it is happen? So to make it is solubilized, we have to break it. To make it solubilize, this solid, this solute, it has to break, it has to disintegrate if it is solid. And if the intermolecular forces of attractions, intermolecular bonds which are strong, it will not allow the third molecules, it will not allow the solvent. It is an, you may say it is an alien to this solute. म्हणजे ह्यांच्यातलं जर इंटरमॉलिक्युलर फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन, ह्यांच्यातलं जर इंटरमॉलिक्युलर बॉन्डिंग जर स्ट्रॉंग असेल, ह्यांच्यामध्ये जर युनिटी असेल, हे काय करेल तर इतर सबस्टन्सला, इतर व्हेइकलला किंवा इतर मॅटरला ह्यांच्यावरती अटॅक करू देणार नाहीये. So our first challenge is to break the solute-solute intermolecular force of attraction. Second is breakup of solvent-solvent intermolecular bonds. आता let us see in this solvent we have to add the, let us consider in this beaker solvent is present, and in this big solvent we have to add the solute. If the solute we add, and if the intermolecular force of attraction between these solvent molecules, if it is strong, definitely it will not allow these solute molecules, it will not allow to form the cavities in this solvent, and as the cavities will not get formed, these solute molecules will not get deep, will not get insert in this solvent. So to get from the cavities, to get entered the solute molecules into the solvent, the cavity formation is must. And to form these cavities, it is necessary to break the solvent-solvent intermolecular bonds. It is necessary to nullify the solvent-solvent intermolecular force of attraction. So challenge in front of us is to break the solute-solute intermolecular bonds and to break the solvent-solvent intermolecular bonds. After formation of the cavities into the solvent, the solute molecules, they will start to transfer into the solvent phase. Okay, so after transfer of this solute molecules into the solvent phase, formation of solute solvent intermolecular bonds. Okay, initially solute intermolecular bonds which are present when solute is separately present, solvent intermolecular bonds which are present when the solvent is separately present. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस सोल्यूट आणि सॉल्व्हंट हे दोन्ही वेगवेगळे होते, when they are present separately, there was intermolecular bonds present just between the solute and solvent. So after the cavity formation into the solvent, solute molecules get entered through this cavity. The solute molecules get transferred inside the solvents, and the solute molecules, these are accommodated by the solvent. Now the third interaction, it is available, that is interaction between solute and solvent molecules, that is intermolecular bonds formation start between the solute and solvent. Now it is very important, as you have considered solute, solvent, and solute interaction is present. Let us see the solvent interaction, solute interaction, solvent interaction. This is liquid solvent. This liquid solvent, it will start to spread when it get energy. Solute crystals again undergo thermodynamic, it will get start to spread. Means what? Here the solvent molecules which are present in the bulk form, that is their intermolecular bonding, it is strong. Similar in solute also, but when they get energy, due to this energy, due to this thermal energy, due to this enthalpy, what happened? These molecules, they start to break, they start to spread. and as they are spreading, why these are start to spread? Why? Because breakdown of the intermolecular bonds. They have started to break down what are the strong intermolecular bonds which are present in between this solute and solvent. And once this liquid, this solvent, it starts spread, means cavity formation phenomenon, cavity formation mechanism, it will start. Let us see. This is, that is solvent, this is solute, and this solute, it will enter in between the solvent wherever it is getting the cavities. So what happened? These solute molecules, these are accommodated by these solvents. So now there is the initiation process, or between the this solvent and this solute, bond formation mechanism, it will start. Now here is the attraction, here the intermolecular bonds between the this solute and solvent. This mechanism, it will initiate, this mechanism, it will start. Okay, and whatever the total enthalpy or total energy which is required for this entire process, it is just delta H1 plus delta H2 and plus delta H3. Okay, I understood what exactly happened in the solubility phenomenon, what exactly happened when the substance start to solubilize. Enthalpy, it is nothing but the amount of heat which is released or absorbed into thermodynamic process. If it is absorbed, it is endothermic, it is positive. If it is exothermic, it is negative. And the enthalpy of solution is commonly referred as a delta H of the solution. It will be the summation of the whatever the energy it will be absorbed or it is evolved into throughout the reaction. So now it is very important, solute solvent interaction. जे आता आपण बोललो होतो की सॉल्व्हंट सेपरेटली प्रेझेंट असताना, सोल्यूट सेपरेटली प्रेझेंट असताना एक्झॅक्टली व्हॉट हॅपन. लेट अस कन्सिडर A is the solvent, B is the solute, and whatever the forces of attractions which are represented by these solvents, these are AA. A is the solvent molecules. So whatever the forces we are getting in between the solvent is attraction is AA. The attraction between the solute molecule is B. That is initially when solvent is separately present, when solute is separately present. But when the solute it get accommodate into the solvent, that is their forces of attraction between A and B, that is solvent and solute. So what happened if the forces of attraction between the solvent, if it is greater than that of the forces of attraction between the solvent and solute? म्हणजे बघा, ज्यावेळेस सॉल्वंटच्या मॉलिक्युल मधलं इंटरमॉलिक्युलर फोर्सेस ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन हे जास्त असेल कशाचे, सोल्यूट आणि सॉल्वंटच्या मॉलिक्युलच्या मधले, त्यावेळेस काय होईल, the solvent molecules will be attracted to each others and the solute will be excluded. Means what? There is only attraction between the solvent-solvent molecules. And this solvent-solvent molecule attraction, it is strong. They start to show their unity. And in this case, the quantity of solute B, if it is, this will be the negligible. It will not attack to break the forces between the solvent molecules, and definitely it will get eliminated, definitely it will get excluded. तो सोल्यूट मॉलिक्यूल अशा सिच्युएशन मध्ये, अशा कंडिशन मध्ये बाजूला फेकला जाईल. कधी? जर सॉल्वंट मॉलिक्यूल मधलं फोर्सेस ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन, इंटरमॉलिक्युलर बॉन्ड्स हे स्ट्रॉंग असतील त्यावेळेस. सो एक्झाम्पल इज बेन्झिन अँड वॉटर. बेन्झिन आणि वॉटर. हॅलो, बेन्झिन आणि वॉटर ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही सोल्युबलाइज करता, they are unable to penetrate the closely bonds water aggregates. म्हणजे ते एकमेकांमध्ये काय होत नाहीत तर प्रॉपरली मिक्स होत नाहीयेत. ओके. सेकंड कंडिशन, if the solute attraction, if it is strong, then the solvent attraction. म्हणजे काय होईल? The solvent will not be able to break the binding forces between the solute molecules. जर सोल्यूट मॉलिक्युल्स मधलं फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन स्ट्रॉंग असेल, त्यांच्यातलं बॉन्डिंग स्ट्रॉंग असेल, तर ते काय होईल तर सोल्वंट मॉलिक्युल्स त्यांना ब्रेक करू शकत नाहीयेत. आणि जर सॉल्वंट मॉलिक्युल्स त्या सोल्यूट मॉलिक्युलला ब्रेक करू शकत नसतील, दॅट मीन्स the solute molecules which is in the entire form, it will not get break due to the attack of solvent, because as they have the strong intermolecular force of attraction between the solute molecules, and you know that until and unless solute molecules will not get break, they will not get enter into the solvent, they will not get spread, they will not get accumulate into the solvent, and as they unable to accumulate, unable to enter into the solvents, this will not get solubilized. म्हणजे जोपर्यंत त्यांच्यामध्ये ब्रेकडाऊन होत नाही, जोपर्यंत सोल्यूट मॉलिक्युल्स मध्ये ब्रेकडाऊन तुम्ही करू शकत नाही, तोपर्यंत ते मॉलिक्युल्स सोल्युबलाइज होऊ शकत नाहीयेत. मग जर अशा वेळेस जर सोल्यूट मधलं फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन हे सॉल्वंट पेक्षा जास्त असेल, तर तो मॉलिक्युल्स, तो सोल्यूट त्या सॉल्वंट मध्ये त्या कंडिशनला सोल्युबल होऊ शकत नाहीये. एक्झाम्पल इज सोडियम क्लोराइड इन बेन्झिन. सोडियम क्लोराइड बेन्झिन मध्ये सोल्युबलाइज होत नाहीये, because the sodium chloride crystal is held by the strong electrovalent forces and which cannot be broken by the benzene. This is the reason. Okay, why it's happened? The reason is solute molecules force of attraction is greater as compared to the solvent intermolecular force of attraction. Third condition is if forces of attraction between this solvent and solute is greater as compared to the solvent is greater as compared to the solute. थर्ड कंडिशन काय आहे तुमच्याकडे? ज्या वेळेस सोल्यूट आणि सॉल्वंट मधलं फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन हे सॉल्वंट आणि सोल्यूट यांच्यामधल्या फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन पेक्षा जास्त असतं, और इट इज इक्वल टू दिस फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन, त्यावेळेस काय होईल, द सोल्यूट विल फॉर्म द सोल्युशन. लक्षात येते तुमच्या? सो टू गेट clear and completely dissolve solution and homogeneous mixture, you should have the strong solute and solvent interaction, and it must be greater than the interaction between the solute molecules and the interaction between the solvent molecule. These are the three possibilities in the solubility phenomenon, or in the mechanism of सोल्यूट सॉल्वंट इंटरॅक्शन. सुरुवातीला सॉल्वंटला सेपरेटली ट्रीट करा, सोल्यूटला सेपरेटली ट्रीट करा. सॉल्वंट मधलं इंटरमॉलिक्युलर फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन समजून घ्या, सोल्यूट मधलं इंटरमॉलिक्युलर फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन समजून घ्या. ज्यावेळेस सॉल्वंट मधलं फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन ही सॉल्वंट मधल्या फोर्स ऑफ अट्रॅक्शन पेक्षा जास्त असतं, त्यावेळेस कॅव्हिटी फॉर्म होणार नाहीये, म्हणजे सोल्यूट त्याच्यामध्ये ऍड होणार नाहीये. तो सोल्यूट तिथंच तसा एक्सक्लूड केला जाईल, इलिमिनेट केला जाईल, तिथंच बाहेर फेकला जाईल. Second is interaction between the solute molecule. If it is greater than the solvent, that solvent it is unable to break the bonds which are present between the solute. Again, that solvent is unable to dissolve, unable to solubilize the solute, because stronger intermolecular force of attraction between the solute as compared to the solvent. Third is intermolecular force of attraction between solute and solvent. If it is greater than that of solvent and solute, definitely your solute will be solubilized, your solute will be dissolved homogeneously into that solvent, and you are getting the completely dissolved and homogenized solution. Example is sodium chloride in water. Okay, sodium chloride in water, it is a example of homogenized solution. So by this way we can make the homogenized solution.